Something big just happened for Tesla. I looked at the stock this morning and I said, holy smokes, what's happening? The stock is up again, 8% this time. There's a major shift happening right now to Tesla stock. So many things are happening. There's so much news. This video you will definitely want to watch in full. And if you like seeing Tesla stock being up 8%, make sure to click that like button and subscribe. So many reasons Tesla stock is up, but obviously we just cut interest rates a bit more in the US, and that's definitely helping. In terms of language from the Fed, the only noteworthy change was the removal of language that the committee has gained greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. But what matters is that we got a cut and the market really likes that. And Tesla stock is now trading at $1 trillion market valuation. We are only a 33% increase away from hitting a new all-time high, which is inevitable, just a matter of time. It's been 2 years since we hit a $1 trillion valuation, and Tesla stock is actually up more as I'm recording this video, which is basically 50% in terms of an increase in about 12 days of trading. And on X, I see every single Tesla bull celebrating all of this. Some bulls seem to be flabbergasted that it's finally happening. My favorite part of all of this is that Tesla stock is about 50% up since Fred Lambert from Electric sold his Tesla shares. Good timing. And Tesla stock is not stopping this rally. I personally don't really care much about year-to-date performances, but right now, already, we are actually outperforming S&P 500, which is up about 26.5%, but Tesla stock is already up 29% year to date, so a big shout out goes to everyone being in Tesla stock, outperforming the market year to date. And every single long-term Tesla stock investor has absolutely annihilated market returns, being up 1,300% in the last 5 years. You need patience with Tesla stock. You can't just look at the last 2-3 years. You have to look at the long term. And as a long-term investor, I know that Tesla stock is going to at least $1,000 per share, and then higher than that, of course. It's just all a matter of time. And some unlucky people that bought higher, many of them are now breaking even. Only some bought at the very top. So you will see a lot of happy Tesla stock investors if this continues, especially. Another reason why Tesla stock so far as I'm recording is flying is because it broke a really hard ceiling. It has not gone above $300 for an extended period of time. So often when you break certain barriers psychologically, Wall Street and technical traders, people that believe in stock astrology are like, oh, it says that the stars have aligned, so it's time to buy now. So many of them do. And then we are seeing some massive Tesla stock price target increases, not just $5, $10. No. CFRA research raises Tesla stock price target to $375, up from $265. And they're the only one raising Tesla stock price target, right? No, Bank of America increased their price target for Tesla stock to $350, up from the previous $265. No one cares if an analyst increases his price target by $10, but this is huge. These guys are increasing their price targets by about $100, very roughly speaking. Why is that? Well, in the case of Bank of America, this is largely due to the election outcome. Our analysis has shown that Tesla stock should be relatively indifferent directly to most policies discussed in our recent election note, but may benefit from a shift to a federal regulation of autonomous vehicles, full self-driving nationwide. In addition, it is difficult to judge how Elon Musk's increasingly close public relationship with the president-elect could benefit Tesla, but this needs to be monitored closely. We believe these factors and potentially others should support Tesla's growth trajectory and thereby the higher earnings multiple. The updated valuation now assumes a 10x multiple on EV sales, a rise from the previous 8x, with the valuation horizon extended to 2026. Only 2026? You would think they would have more of a longer time horizon. Now, what I'm seeing here is basically them saying, oh, FSD? Yeah, you know how, usually we analysts, we don't really care much about it. The only way that you can say that better regulation for FSD is better for Tesla is if you really think that Tesla is actually going to solve FSD, make it safer than human driving, and start deploying robotaxis out there on the roads. And on top of that, you think that people, regular customers of Tesla, will also start buying FSD in higher numbers. If that's not happening, you would not increase Tesla stock price target due to more favorable FSD regulation. What we are seeing here is a major shift of analysts research firms saying, oh, FSD, we don't really believe in that, to now, oh, yeah, it's obvious. It's going to happen. So, yeah, we need to increase our price targets because regulation should be more favorable. And as far as Elon Musk being close to the president-elect, how would that benefit Tesla? I have one very obvious way that it will benefit Tesla. Simply the president-elect talking about Tesla favorably, saying, oh, you know what? Teslas are great. Anyone can buy any car they want, and Teslas are great. You don't have to buy electric, but if you do, Teslas are the best ever. It's remarketing, marketing to people that normally would not really be that interested in EVs. To many that voted for the president-elect, I think it's pretty obvious that Elon Musk played a major role in making sure that he actually gets elected. So a lot of these people are going to view Elon Musk a lot more favorably, and therefore Tesla as a result, and therefore some of them will actually consider buying a Tesla vehicle as well. Ashley showed you guys a few examples of people for the first time taking a chance with Tesla for the first time just because he supported president-elect. And now that he won, I think that will manifest to some degree in Tesla sales as well. On how big of a scale, that's a question, but I think it will have an impact. And the other party, to a certain extent, I think it's already been, you can't really alienate them more, so I don't think there's more damage being done there. Now it's mostly the gains that we are going to see. And specifically getting back to CFRA, they increased the price target because of the election outcome. And remember that only Tesla, according to Elon Musk, is making EVs profitably. So if President-elect really takes away a lot of these EV subsidies, that's actually beneficial to Tesla's market share in the US temporarily. Sales will slow down, but market share would increase, making all of the competition lose even more money than before, while Tesla would still make a profit. So I see that as bullish for Tesla in the long term, actually, not in the short term though. Here's some pretty interesting news. Axios is saying that Elon Musk is the most powerful civilian ever, who sits at the pinnacle of power in business, government, and I believe basically information control with X. I personally believe that the next 4 years are going to be by far the most interesting Elon Musk years ever to date. There's going to be a lot of news and it's going to be busy and wild. The Twitter acquisition was wild, but I think that was just a warm-up to what's about to come with the government, with Elon Musk being in charge of DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. A shout out goes to Matt Smith. He was just on TV. Also, a Neuberger Berman analyst, Dan Flax, on Tesla had a statement. Tesla's in a period where they're looking to bring down costs and ultimately see better sales next year. You can pretty much say this about any period in Tesla's history. Tesla is looking to cut down costs, make manufacturing more efficient, and therefore, as a result, at least to some degree, try to increase sales next year or do better than the competition. What an insightful analyst. Here's some really good news. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals upholds a jury verdict that cleared Elon Musk of all allegations of having misled investors with his 2018 funding secured tweet for taking Tesla private. This is definitely a huge win for Elon Musk, and there's a lot of winning lately for Elon Musk here. If you have been a Tesla stock investor, what you have noticed is that Tesla and Elon Musk, there are just periods where it seems like every day it can get worse, and then you wake up the next day and it's worse. And then the next day it's even worse than that. And then the next day it's even worse than that. If you recall 2022 December. But then we go through periods where there is a major win after major win after major win after major win, and the stock just keeps going up and up and up and up and up and up. So Elon had a comment about this. Justice prevails. Meanwhile, none of the many short sellers who egregiously manipulated Tesla stock for years and lied knowingly, repeatedly on TV, have been prosecuted. Not one. Do you think that's about to change with Elon Musk going into government? You know, Elon Musk has better things to focus on, but if he spends a few minutes on that particular issue, would I be upset about it? Not really. If I was one of the short sellers who manipulated Tesla stock, yeah, I would be a little bit uncomfortable right now with Elon Musk and the government. And look, things are just going really well for Elon Musk from all fronts, pretty much. The Tennessee Valley Authority has voted this morning to approve xAI's request for 150 megawatts of power, which is a lot, for its Colossus AI supercomputer in Memphis. These systems do use a lot of electricity. Now, there is one condition. xAI will be asked to sign an agreement to cut back on the power of its Colossus supercomputer if the Tennessee Valley Authority and the Memphis Light, Gas, and Water systems become stressed. But assuming that everything's normal, take all the power you can, basically. Check this out. We are seeing the refreshed Model Y again. This one was spotted in California and has a front bumper camera, even though you can see that the text on the video is actually Chinese, which is a bit interesting, but this is actually in California, not in China. Hopefully this year, or when the Model Y refreshed version is launched, hopefully it's all coordinated with all of the factories, making it not that far apart when it comes to the vehicle being launched in each different region. But we know already that Tesla is actually producing these vehicles in China. It's actually happening right now as we speak. We don't know exactly how many though have been produced. It's probably still a very tiny number. Ooh, Tesla Energy is actually running ads on YouTube. This is for the Powerwall. I think the demand is pretty good. Now I have a family member in the US who looked into ordering one, and the pricing is actually quite expensive. The margins on this must be huge. So instead of cutting the price, Tesla is choosing to advertise in this case, which is not something that before you would have really seen Tesla do. With Tesla's vehicles, the margins are not extremely high, so it makes to some extent more sense to advertise the vehicles. But with energy, the margins are still so big. There's a lot of room to cut the price. But the demand must also be pretty good, and maybe Tesla is just trying this new strategy, see, okay, how many people, you just run a few ads, how many sales are we going to get? I'm all for trying different things, different strategies, different tactics. I'm not stuck on, oh, it has to be this way or this way or this way. From my experience, running multiple businesses, the best idea strategies are the ones that just come from trying many different things. Here's some good news. Tesla has secured a new $122 million Megapack contract with Eco Energy in Australia. It's expected to be operational in 2026, and this is how it will look. We also have the first batch of Tesla Megapacks that arrived at the site of one of Queensland's biggest batteries yet, that is being built at a former coal generation hub south of Brisbane, which is in Australia, to store excess solar energy and help balance the local grid. So the Megapack business is doing great. Oh, and check this out. Elon Musk says that Tesla Optimus abilities are increasing rapidly. So Optimus is already doing some tasks in the factory, and the scope of its abilities is increasing rapidly. The toughest part by far is improving the design of Optimus for ease of manufacturing and tooling up a complex supply chain so it can be made in significant numbers. Wow, so you're saying that the thing that Tesla is good at, manufacturing, mass producing a product, that's harder than actually improving its abilities? Really? If that's the case, knowing that Tesla has a very successful track record of manufacturing at scale and quickly, with production increasing often 50% year over year before, definitely having that ability. It means that Elon Musk and Tesla believe that making the bot useful, that's not really the main problem. It's basically, in a way, what I'm reading from this is they're saying it's done to a certain extent. That's one of the more bullish statements I've heard from Tesla and Elon Musk recently. Of course, I'm reading in between the lines here, so maybe that's not exactly what Elon Musk meant to say, but that's how it's coming across to me. And that's one of the things that is also making many analysts more excited about Tesla stock, at least the ones that think really deeply. And Tom Lee here, who is one of the better analysts on Wall Street, people say, said that Tesla stock is undervalued. He said this on CNBC when Tesla stock already was at $300. And now it's over that noticeably. But that statement from Elon Musk about the Tesla bot, that's making the bulls really excited. By the way, that was Elon Musk's response to someone that was a bit skeptical about the Tesla bot. I'm more skeptical than a lot of people in the tech space about the near-term utility of humanoid robots. Long-term, driven by AGI, sure, they are going to be an enormous economic engine, but business plans that have them making a dent in the next 5 years seem unlikely. Tesla can play a long game and maybe win, but I don't like the odds for startups. Always happy to see tech exceed my expectations, of course. So he's saying Tesla has a chance, but maybe not in the next 5 years. And practically Elon Musk is disagreeing with him, saying that it's already being useful. And looking at Tesla's history, actually, Elon hyped FSD a lot before the last major increase in Tesla's stock price. The pump largely came from Tesla actually doing extremely well when it comes to EVs. and not as much about FSD. Tesla investors were really excited about the Model Y being so profitable and production going well with that. And many analysts were expecting, well, if Tesla stock does go to the moon, which it did, it would come from FSD, but that's not what happened. It actually came from EVs. So now Elon Musk is paying more attention to the Tesla bot. So you would think, oh, is that where the next increase of Tesla stock going to be from? Looking at the past, that's definitely not a requirement, and there are just so many ways for Tesla stock to explode. If FSD is not solved all that quickly, there's the energy business. It's just a sleeping business at the moment, because in terms of revenue, compared to how much revenue Tesla generates overall, it's not a huge amount. But you look at profits and you look at how fast it's growing, it's inevitable for that business to become a major part of Tesla's overall business and profits, unless Tesla solves FSD quickly. And I think to many people, that hasn't really sunk in yet. And then there's the Tesla Semi, to which I think many are not paying much attention anymore, but that's definitely a mistake. If Tesla doesn't solve FSD quickly, the Tesla Semi is actually going to contribute to Tesla's profits noticeably and significantly. And the moment Tesla solves FSD, makes it safer than human driving, everything that Tesla has done up to that point will pale in comparison what we are going to see from FSD and the kind of excitement and returns and the stock price that we will see from that. So that's one of the reasons why I like Tesla stock so much. There's big upside built in from FSD, and now the Optimus bot, but you have all these other little things that will contribute significantly as well. So even if you don't get the big major thing FSD, like right now, there's still so much upside built into it. And then in a sense, the biggest insurance policy for us Tesla stock investors is having Elon Musk as the CEO of Tesla, because Elon Musk thrives in chaos, and if there's some sort of disaster that Tesla needs to go through and overcome, the best person in the world to do that is Elon Musk. Well, this is interesting. Argentina's president will meet separately, not together, separately, with both the US president-elect and Elon Musk next week, a government spokesperson said today. We have heard Elon Musk before make a statement that in some capacity Elon Musk is looking to make some sort of an investment in Argentina, so maybe that's what that all is about. Mexico's economy minister seeks meeting with Elon Musk to clarify Tesla plans now that we have the president-elect. It will be interesting to see what Tesla is gonna plan to do with the factory in Mexico. There has been speculation before about the factory not being built because Elon Musk thought maybe Trump would be elected, and with that, the $7,500 EV tax credits would go away, which means the vehicles built in Mexico would not qualify for that anymore. And supposedly that was one of the big reasons why Tesla and Elon Musk wanted to build in Mexico. But publicly, the only reason that Elon Musk really gave was high interest rates in the US, which now are coming down. The Mexican minister said, "I'm going to set up a meeting with Musk soon so that he tells me exactly what he's thinking. So soon we will have pretty good clarity on that factory." There's no point in rushing to build that factory really, because Tesla has stated that it has manufacturing capacity of about 3 million vehicles per year just with existing facilities. So I personally, I'm not really all that interested in what's happening with the Mexico factory right now at this moment. Things can wait, it can be a little bit postponed. I don't really see that as an issue. Because Tesla is generating so much new technology right now with its manufacturing and the new vehicles and everything, it actually makes sense to postpone it a little bit more, implement all of the new manufacturing techniques in the existing facilities and factories, and once you implement those, you will see, that also needs to change. We didn't think of that. We need to do this. So that way you have a more complete idea of what you actually need to do, and then you can build this new factory from the ground up with everything properly being designed. So unless there's insane demand immediately for Tesla to sell a lot more vehicles, it makes sense to postpone that factory just by a little bit more. Here's a construction progress update. This is the Tesla Semi factory specifically. Progress is definitely being made there. You can read the details, and visually you can see that the whole thing is going up. We know that the Tesla Semi is launching in mass next year. And Gally, who is one of the OG Tesla YouTubers, by the way, if you're new to Tesla stock, you may have no idea who is, but he's actually, if you have been an investor, you remember the good old days with Gally and Hyperchange. Unlocking an autonomous freight network that will make trucking cheaper than rail, he says about this factory, expanding the TAM of a multi-100 billion truck industry. Tesla is on the cusp of disrupting. Exciting times to be a Tesla shareholder, indeed. And someone who hates driving next to dangerous, smelly trucks. And it's gonna be quiet too. So if you live next to a busy highway, you will be able to sleep a little bit better. And you know that eventually every single one of these will have a FSD, which will work better than and safer than human driving. This is great for Tesla. And good omen for Tesla. Delaware judge okays vote on ad company's move to Nevada. This is a different company from Tesla, obviously, which wanted to move to Nevada and leave Delaware. So that's a precedent now that's going to allow Tesla to pack up and go to Texas easier. Now, of course, we know that in June, Tesla officially made moves to move to Texas from Delaware. But if you read this Reuters article, there are a few hurdles. I don't think any of them are big deals. It's just a process, and I'm sure everything for Tesla is going to be okay, even if there are some minor hurdles. Oh, check this out. This is great for Tesla in China. Tesla China becomes the first company to win automobile privacy title. So all Tesla produced models in Giga Shanghai meet relevant national standards, including anonymization of face information outside the car, non-collection of driver's C data, processing vehicle data, and critical notifications of personal information. We know that the Chinese government is really concerned about stuff like that, so this is great news for Tesla. There's another promotion that Tesla is running in Europe. Tesla will give you 1 year of free supercharging if you take delivery of a Model Y by the end of this year. What the heck is going on here? Farzad is asking Elon if he can confirm this. So this was posted just 17 hours ago. Breaking, Clarin is reporting that Elon Musk has bought CNN. Reportedly, the president of Argentina revealed that Elon Musk has bought the news media company and that it will be President Trump's chainsaw. Now, I have never seen this news publication. I have no idea how credible this is. You can see that the article is indeed from just now. I also found another article that supposedly Elon Musk is reportedly eyeing CNN acquisition. I'll fix the Media One network at a time. However, this article is in satire and it's from October 18th. This one, I don't see a tag of satire or anything like that. And I asked Grok, is this website a real news publication or satire? And actually, it is a real news publication. On top of that, it is the largest newspaper in Argentina and is known for its significant influence in the Spanish-speaking world. So no satire there, supposedly, according to Grok. I do have to say this, though. If Elon Musk really buys CNN, I will be flabbergasted. I'll be stunned. But if there is someone who can fix it, Elon Musk certainly has the capacity and the capability to do that. Stephen Colbert definitely has a liberal audience, and here's how the audience reacts to having a CNN reporter, basically, and Stephen Colbert saying that CNN is objective.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. No, I know. CNN makes a... I know.
Was that supposed to be a laugh line?
I wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
She's flabbergasted right here in this moment. She wasn't even aware that a liberal audience would think that CNN is a joke. And in the comment section, there's literally no one defending CNN. Everyone is happy that the audience understands that CNN is a joke. And I certainly agree with the points that Farzad is making here. Following Elon Musk's story arc has been a proxy for learning how much corruption exists in the US. Constant bias and weaponized media coverage to derail him and his company's blatant distortion of news to directly benefit short sellers, lawfare against him and his companies for no logical reason. Well, actually, this one, I disagree with this one. They do have logical reasons. It's just that the reasons are not exactly ethical. A political party mobilized to destroy him because of his willingness to stand against draconian measures during COVID. And that, most importantly, a ruling to take away his pay after achieving impossible goals because he got paid too much. I've been aware of all of this, but to many, this is very, very eye-opening. Dems have literally pushed a lifetime Democrat, Elon Musk, into the other party with their actions. The only people that you see in this picture are direct members of Trump's family, except for Elon Musk. That's how close he is going to be to president-elect. This just puts a smile on my face, actually. Do you remember Elon Musk asking Bill Gates, why haven't you closed it yet? Talking about his short position against Tesla stock. If he hasn't closed it yet, oh, he's losing so much money right now. And I think there's definitely a point here that's being made, and I made this argument as well on my Patreon repeatedly multiple times. And I think I mentioned this in my YouTube videos as well. But Naval posits that Elon taking on the government corruption was primarily a hurdle in his path to get humanity to Mars saving American democracy was just a side quest. But I would say it wasn't really a side quest. If he really believes that American democracy needed saving, it was one of the primary objectives, because without that, you cannot go to Mars. Because the Dems would have eaten SpaceX alive. That's what Elon probably believed. We need to talk about this. Trump will have some authority to adjust the eligibility criteria for the $7,500 federal EV tax credit to make it harder for EVs to qualify, but he cannot completely eliminate the credit itself because it is established by law passed by Congress. To get rid of it completely, he will need both the House and the Senate to support that effort and pass it, and he'll get that support because both chambers are now Republican controlled. But the EV tax credit is probably not going to be the #1 agenda on his list. But for all my American friends, if you want to buy an EV, don't wait too long because you may lose access to the credit. Tesla just entered a new market, the Philippines. I have quite a few friends in the Philippines. Very gonna be happy. I've been to many countries in Asia, but I haven't been to the Philippines yet, but I'm planning to visit sometime in the future. It was a busy day for Tesla. Look at how many people came to see Tesla vehicles in the Philippines on the opening day. Now, Tesla does need to build out the supercharging infrastructure, and it has already started doing that. The Cybertruck is now available to be leased in the US. That hasn't been possible until now, but now it is. Zoox, which is owned by Amazon, is now testing its new autonomous robotaxi on public roads, but only employees for now can test the vehicle. It does look quite futuristic. Check it out. I like how it looks. It's like a mini bus. You have so much space inside. Oh, and Cybercab is now on display actually in one of the stores that Tesla has. You can see it in California in San Jose. Wow, this is a pretty good picture showing the interior. The screen is massive. For Elon Musk, this is great because this also ensures the long-term success of X. The global usage of X has just reached a new all-time high, obviously due to the election. But this is good. It also makes Elon Musk a lot less likely to sell Tesla stock to fund X because X should be generating more advertising revenue. This is going to be huge. SpaceX's 6th Starship test flight in 12 days will happen, and it will be the last flight of the initial version of the Starship vehicle with the next generation, including redesigned forward flaps, larger propellant tanks, newer tiles, and secondary thermal protection layers. I will post a video of the launch, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Lucid has reported its earnings loss per share 28 cents versus 30 cents expected, revenue 200 million versus 198 million expected, and net loss 992 versus 630 million in Q3. So it's burning $1 billion a quarter with 5 billion left, but they're gonna raise more money. The Saudis don't want the company to go bankrupt. Lucid opened orders for its new SUV Gravity. It's pretty pricey, $95,000. Rivian just reported their Q3 earnings. They generated quite a bit less revenue than expected. However, shockingly, it remains on track for positive gross profit in Q4. Currently, Rivian loses $39,000 for every vehicle delivered as of Q3 2024 versus 32,000 in Q2 of 2024. The difference is because Q3 included the launch of their second-gen R1 vehicles. And this is starting to make sense now. Last night, Rivian admitted for the first time that the primary driver of the expected Q4 gross margin positivity was a massive concentrated release of regulatory credits. Okay, well, while regulatory credits are here to stay for a while, they are not going to last forever, so you can't rely on them forever. But sure, okay, great for Rivian, but I don't think it's what a lot of investors were expecting to hear. When earlier this year, they heard Rivian saying, oh, we're gonna have a positive gross margin in Q4. Autoblog has released a list of legacy automaker brands that it thinks may not survive the EV transition, and Ford is on the list, even though Ford has really tried. There'll be Mach-E, Ford Mustang. You see so many big names. Toyota, they put Toyota on the list here as well. The biggest automaker in terms of market cap after Tesla. And you can see so many different companies here. Volkswagen is on the list as well. And you're starting to see a lot of these headlines. We have seen this with Volkswagen. Jeep now, which is Stellantis, said today it is laying off 1,100 employees at a Jeep Gladiator plant in Ohio. But when it comes to breaking Tesla, no, you can't break Tesla. Tesla is here to stay. Whoa, Nissan will cut 9,000 jobs and 20% of its global manufacturing capacity. Nissan cut its annual profit outlook by 70%. This has been one of the best weeks for Tesla, with the stock being up 30% just in the last 5-ish days. And I believe Tesla stock is going to $1,000 per share and about that later. You just need to give it some time. My name is Matt Posius. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video, either this Monday or Tuesday, and I'll probably post another compilation of Joe Rogan and Elon Musk tomorrow. So keep an eye on that.